Good morning, students. Today we are going to continue the last session. In the last session, we started the memory, how exactly the memory is going to be accessed by the 8086 microprocessor. So here the memory is going to be the maximum memory that can be accessible by our 8086 microprocessor is a 1 MB size. This memory is virtually divided into 16 equal blocks. This memory is virtually divided into 16 equal blocks. Each block is named as a segment. Each block is named as a segment. Okay. So each block is named as a segment. So whatever the division which is there in the memory as a segment, that is done virtual manner. It is not the physical division. Means take the knife and cut the memory like that. It is not like that, but it is going to be the virtual division. Logically, it is going to be divided into the segments format, and that is going to be used by the 8086 microprocessor. So here, any developer, when you are going to make use of the memory, when you are interfacing your memory to the microprocessor, if you want, you can set any block as your own segment. Let us suppose I would like to make use of this block as a, or I would like to set this block as my code segment. Then I can set this one as a my code segment. If I want, I can set this one as a my stack segment. Means any developer or the user can set their own what is that segment as a code segment, or the data segment, or the stack segment, or the extra segment. Okay, no. So in order to set a particular segment as a code segment or the data segment, what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to load the base address of a segment. Base address is nothing but the starting address of a segment into your segment register. Let us suppose I would like to make use of this particular one. What is that? I would like to make use of the this particular segment as a my code segment. Then I need to set what CS register starting address of this segment. I need to load the starting address of this segment. I need to load the starting address of this segment into the CS register. So if I want to make use of this segment as a data segment, then I need to load the starting address of this segment, starting address of this particular segment into the DS register. Means whenever you would like to make use of a particular block as your own segment, then you are supposed to load the starting address of that segment into the corresponding segment register, not only this, in the last session we have seen that in order to access a particular memory location, so I'll take the full block. Okay. In order to even though we have the even though we have the four blocks, even though we have the 16 equal blocks, at a time only the four blocks are going to be used. Means four segments are going to be used by the microprocessor. Remaining 12 segments are in the ideal position. So if at all a particular segment, let us suppose this particular code segment is fully filled, then I'm going to continue this particular, means I'm going to make use of another segment as a code segment continuation to this segment. Okay, now like that I can set. Okay. So here as we have seen in the last class, that when you would like to store a particular code into the code segment, you are supposed to have the base address as well as a offset address. Means if you want to access a particular memory location in the code segment, you require the base address as well as the offset address. But if you go to the data segment, in the data segment also similar to the code segment, here also if you want to access a particular memory location, if you want to access a particular memory location in the data segment, you need to know the base address of that particular segment as well as the offset address of that particular segment. So just like this, in case of the stack also same thing. In case of the extra segment is also same thing. Means if you want to make use of if you want to access a particular location in a particular segment, you require the base address of that segment as well as the offset address of that particular segment. So we know that the base addresses and the offset addresses. Base addresses of each segment is available in the corresponding segment register, which is nothing but the for code segment it is a CS, for the data segment it is a DS, for the extra segment it is a ES, for the stack segment it is a SS. And at the same time, offset addresses for the code segment, offset address for the code segment is available in the instruction pointer register. Offset address for the data segment is available in the source index register. Offset address for the stack segment is available in the stack pointer register or the base pointer. So means two registers are used to hold the offset address for the stack segment. One is a stack pointer, another one is a base pointer. Stack pointer, another one is a base pointer. Okay, now why we are having this one, we are going to elaborate the explanation today. Okay, so the next case. So here for the extra segment, base address is there in the ES register, and the stack address, the offset address is there in the DA register. So base address is there in the extra segment, offset address is there in the what is that, destination index register, okay, now. So these are the process, means if you want to access a particular memory location in a particular block or the segment, you require the base address as well as the offset address, now if you see each base address as well as the offset address, so I'm taking the data segment because the down one is not appearing for you in the proper way, so that's why I'm taking the top one. So if you are seeing the data segment, in order to access a particular memory location in the data segment, not only in the data segment, in any kind of segment, you require the base as well as the offset. Okay, now. But if you see that SI register is a source index register whose size is a 16-bit wide, 16-bit size. Okay, now. And base register is also the base register for the data segment is a DS, data segment register, whose size is a 16-bit wide, also the 16-bit wide. Source index register is a 16-bit wide, and the DS register is also the 16-bit wide. Now the question comes that when you would like to access a particular memory location in the 8086 microprocessor, we are having the 20-bit address. But not the 16-bit address. Okay. Now, the physical address which is going to be come from the 8086 microprocessor is a 20-bit address. Means we are having the 20-bit address bus. But in order to access a particular memory location in a particular segment, we require the 16-bit base address, 16-bit offset address. Now the question comes that how exactly this particular means these two 16-bit registers, means these two base address of the data segment, which is a DS register and the SI register, how they are going to be converted into the 20-bit physical address is the question. The address which is generated by the 8086 microprocessor is a 20-bit address, but the address which is used for accessing a particular memory location, in a particular segment is a 16-bit wide. One is base address is a 16-bit wide, and the offset address is also the 16-bit wide. So whatever the 20-bit address which we are coming, which the 8086 microprocessor is generating, that address is called as a physical address. Okay. So anytime the microprocessor is generating the 20-bit physical address, as I said, the 20-bit physical address is logically divided into, that is a entire 1 MB is logically divided into segment format. In order to access a particular memory location in a particular segment, we require the base address as well as the offset address. Now the question is how exactly this base address and offset address is going to be formed as a 20-bit address is a question. Okay, now. So that 20-bit address we call it as a physical address. Okay, now we call it as a physical address, means physically available in the memory. But whatever the segments and whatever the base address and the offset address we are having, they are the virtual addresses, but they are reformed in such a way that they are going to be formed means they are going to be arranged, base address as well as offset address are going to be arranged in such a way that it is going to be formed the 20-bit address. Which is called as a physical address. Actually, next slide is that one only. What is the physical address? Physical address means the address which is going to be generated by the 8086 microprocessor to access a particular memory location. Whose the size is that? The address which is generated by the 8086 microprocessor, that is going to be the 20-bit size. But the memory 20-bit memory, that is a 1 MB memory, is logically divided into segment format. In order to access that one, how exactly the 20-bit address is going to be generated? With the help of the 16-bit base address as well as the 16-bit offset address is a question. So for that, so here we are having the 20-bit physical address now. Okay, now we are having the 20-bit physical address now. In order to show the 20-bit physical address of a particular segment, we are having one notation called as a base address of that segment as well as the offset address of that particular segment. Okay, now you are supposed to write the physical address is nothing but it is a 20-bit address, and it is going to be formed by using the base address of the segment as well as the offset address of the segment. Means if you want to access a particular memory location in a code segment, in a code segment. The 20-bit physical address is going to be the in the code segment na. So 20-bit physical address is a CS colon IP, because the CS is holding the base address of the code segment, IP is holding the offset address of the code segment. Just like that, DS colon what is the data segment, right? Data segment means source index register. Okay, so the next one is the SS colon. It may be the SP or BP. When the microprocessor is using the SP register, and when the microprocessor is going to be use the BP register for the to represent the offset, we are going to see that one, no problem at all. So the next one is the ES, extra segment. So for this, the offset address is going to be there in the DA. Offset address is going to be there in the DA. Okay, now offset address is going to be there in the DA register. So these are the physical addresses. These are the physical addresses, means this combination is representing the 20-bit physical address for the code segment. This combination is representing the 20-bit address for the data segment. This combination is representing the 20-bit address for the stack segment. So this entire thing, and this combination is representing the 20-bit address for the extra segment. 20-bit address for the extra segment. Now, how exactly the these two base addresses, means 16-bit addresses, base address as well as the offset address, both are the 16-bit now. How exactly they are converted into the 20-bit format is a question. 20-bit format is a question. So for that, we are having the formula called as a the microprocessor. See, virtual division is going to be virtually the memory is in the segment format, but physical address is going to be the 20-bit address. How the microprocessor is going to be make use of the base address available in the corresponding segment register, offset address available in the corresponding offset register. How using these two registers content, how exactly it is going to form the 20-bit physical address is the question. So for that, the example is the microprocessor. It is done by the microprocessor. Now microprocessor is making use of the for example, I am going to use a microprocessor who would like to perform the read write operation with respect to the code segment. Then it is going to use the CS register value, IP register value, and it is multiplying the CS register value with the 10H value. With the 10H, it is multiplying the base register, base address of the code segment which is there in the CS with the 10H. So to the result of this particular multiplication, the offset address is going to be added. The offset address is going to be added. For example, I am assuming that my base address is going to be here. We are trying to perform the physical address calculation. For example, uh, my CS value, CS equals to the uh, 100 or 1000H, and IP value, IP equals to what we do, I'm assuming that it is a 0003. Okay, so here microprocessor is using the CS register value as well as the IP register value, and it is forming the 20-bit address. One more thing, here we are having the notation, right? I forgot to write the H. I'm supposed to write the H over here. Yeah, it's going to be the H. Okay, so here IP register na. So 20-bit address is going to be calculated by multiplying the CS with the CS with the multiplying the CS with the multiplication. For the multiplication, I'll take this one, CS with the 10H. Okay, which is plus IP register value, plus IP register value, just like this formula, plus IP register value. Then I'm going to write it as a, I'm going to write which is equals to the 10000H into 100H into 10H plus, I think you are not able to see this one. I'll do one thing, I'll go for the calculation over here. I know that you are not able to see that. So CS into 10H plus IP is equals to 1000H into 10H plus IP value is how much? 0003H. You take this one, so 1000H into 10H. Simply use the mathematical formula, mathematical multiplication. Okay, now then it is going to be the 4Hs, 4Hs plus 0003. So if you add them, then it is going to be the 10003H. So if you see this one, this entire thing is a 20-bit physical address. This entire thing is a 20-bit physical address. So like this, the microprocessor is generating the 20-bit physical address. Like this, the microprocessor is generating the 20-bit physical address. 20-bit physical address. Okay, where exactly this address is going to be calculated by the microprocessor is a question. Where exactly this 20-bit physical address is going to be calculated by the microprocessor is a question. Okay, now. So for that, let us go back to our explanation. So we are having, that is the internal architecture of the 8086 microprocessor. So if you see this internal architecture, whatever the explanation we have seen just few minutes back, 10003H, which is a memory location available in the code segment. In order to access that one, what the microprocessor is doing is, it requires what? It requires the what is that? Physical address, 20-bit physical address. Calculating the 20-bit physical address is going to be done over here. Calculating the 20-bit physical address is going to be done over here. Okay, now. So in order to calculate this one, we are interested in the what is that? Code segment. Now, to access the code segment, microprocessor is reading the CS value from here and IP value from here. It is reading the CS value from here and the IP value from here. And, this CS value is given as an input to the one of the operand of the summation, and this CS value is given as a one of the input to the summation. So here it is performing the calculation, which is nothing but base address into 10H plus offset address. So that is the formula to calculate the 20-bit physical address. Means whenever you want to access a particular memory location, you are splitting that 20-bit address into the 16-bit format, like base address as well as the offset address. Now the question comes that why we are supposed to do this kind of splitting, why we are supposed to use this kind of splitting, and why each block size is going to be 64K only is a question. So if you observe the architecture diagram, inside the architecture till now we have seen the registers whose maximum size is a 16-bit size only. We have seen the registers whose maximum size is a 16-bit register only. We have not seen any register whose size is a 20-bit address, 20-bit size. Okay, we have not seen any address, any register whose size is a 20-bit, So maximum memory, that maximum value that can be stored in a particular register is going to be the 16-bit size only. Maximum value that is going to be stored inside a memory, inside a register, is a 16-bit wide only. So that's why what they have done is, as we are having the maximum register size is a 16-bit wide, what they have done is they have virtually divided the 20-bit physical address into the, means the microprocessor is dividing the 1 MB memory into the 16-bit combination format, like base address and the offset address. So that's why each block maximum size is going to be the 64K only. Why I'm saying this one means, if you want to know this one, I think we have seen that calculation here. I'll take this. So here, what is the maximum size of each register? Maximum, I'm sorry, size, max size of a register in 8086 is 16 oops 16 bit, right? 16 bit. Okay, so 16 bit means how many combinations you are going to get using the 16 bit number? how many combinations. To calculate that one, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to use the, I think all of you know this one, right? We are supposed to use the base of the binary number system to the power of to the power to the power of the size of the that address. Means here the size of the maximum size of the register is a 16-bit pointer. So that 16-bit we are going to write over here. Means I'm going to take over here and I'm using the control D to differentiate that. After that, yeah, I'm going to use 16-bit. So 2 power 16 equals to the how much? 2 power 16 is equals to the, which is equals to the, which is equals to the 64k, as you know. 64k is going to be the 64k, right? So that's why the 2 power 20 uh, 2 power 20 value, I'm just taking the cap to indicate the 2 power 20. So 2 power 20 value, 2 power 20 is divided into 2 power 2 power 4, sorry, 2 power 4 and 2 power 16. 2 power 4 and 2 power 16. But we know that 2 power 4 is nothing but what? It's going to be the 16. It is going to be the 16. 2 power 16 is nothing but what? It is going to be the multiply actually. Oops. It's going to be multiply. 2 power 16 is nothing but the 64k. 2 power 16 is nothing but the 64k. Now look at this. So now look at this. We are having the 16 blocks. Each block size is going to be the 64k. Why each block is decided as a 64k means the maximum size of the segment register is going to be the 16 bit. The maximum size of the segment register, instruction pointer register, source index register, whatever the registers which are there in the 8086 microprocessor, they are the 16-bit wide. So that's why the blocks, the virtual blocks are which are named as the segments are going to be the 64 kilo size. 64 kilo size. Okay. Now. So this is all about our explanation or all about our memory accessing. So in short, whatever the calculations we have seen, that calculation is going to means the microprocessor is generating the 20-bit physical address over here by taking the corresponding segment value, the corresponding base address for the from the corresponding segment register, and the offset address from either from any one of these registers or one of the IP register over here. Okay, now by make use of these registers, it is going to be generates the 20-bit physical address. Means the microprocessor is calculating the 20-bit physical address, and that 20-bit physical address is placed over here. Okay, now. So it is placing the 20-bit physical address on the bus to the memory. Okay, now it is placing the 20-bit physical address. Oops, oops. Wait a minute now. It is placing the 20-bit physical address, 20-bit physical address on the address bus. 20-bit physical address to the memory. Okay, so that is going to be done by the microprocessor. Means microprocessor is taking the base address and the offset address. It is forming the 20-bit address by adding the base address with the offset address using the formula which we have seen. So let me show you that formula. Oops, yeah, the formula is, this is what the formula we are having. This is a formula. Base address is multiplied with the offset address, and sorry, base address is multiplied with the 10h, and it is added with the offset address, so that it is forming the 20-bit physical address. 20-bit physical address. So if you want to show the physical address format for each segment, as I've shown you for each segment, what is the 20-bit physical address format? Let me show you one more time. So 20-bit physical address format sheet. Control W, 20-bit physical segment. For each segment is for the code segment. For code segment, not writing entire thing. For code segment, it is going to be the CS colon IP. These two combinations are showing the 20-bit physical address. For data segment, data segment, take the uniform data segment. It is going to be the DS colon SI. For stack segment, stack segment is going to be the SS SS colon SP or BP. Maybe in the next video we are going to find that one. Stack segment. Next one is the extra segment. For extra segment, the 20-bit physical address representation for the extra segment is ES colon DI. ES colon DI. These are the representations of each segment 20-bit physical address. 20-bit physical address. Okay. So with this, the architecture of the 8086 microprocessor is over. We left with the flag register. So we left with the flag register, and that flag register, I'll take that one as a separate concept because it is one of the important short question. But when you are explaining the architecture of the 8086 microprocessor, you are supposed to explain the flag register also. And one more thing is, whatever the memory, whatever these things we have seen, means this memory and the 16 blocks, all these things, it is only for the view, in order to get how exactly this view is there. Okay, so no need to draw this diagram like this in the exam. No need to draw these diagrams. It is only for your convenience how exactly the memory is going to be accessed by the 8086 microprocessor. I would like to show the physical view. Okay, so physical view, so that's why I used these slides. So no need to explain, no need to draw all these diagrams in the exam. So when you are go through the textbook, you will come across the one simple concept called as a segment base and offset addresses, and they are going to explain that the 8086 microprocessor is the entire 1 MB memory is divided into 16 equal blocks. Each block is named as a segment, and each block size is a 64K. Each block size is a 64K. Why it is a 64K? We have seen the reason also. Okay, why it is a 64K? We have seen the reason, and how exactly the 20-bit physical address is going to be calculated by using the base address as well as the offset address. Only that explanation is there in the textbook. For exam point of view, just write that one only. So no need to draw and explain all these things. It is only for your convenience to realize the concept of how exactly the memory is created virtually and how it is going to be accessed by the 8086 microprocessor. Okay, so this is all about our 8086 microprocessor. Let us review once what we are supposed to write in the exam. Okay, so when you are going to get the question on my architecture, explain the internal architecture of the 8086 microprocessor in detail, then you are going to draw this particular diagram, that is the architecture diagram of the 8086 microprocessor. Before drawing this diagram, you are going to write that 8086 microprocessor is supporting the 16-bit data bus and 20-bit address bus. As it is supporting the 16-bit data bus, 8086 microprocessor is called as a 16-bit microprocessor. You are supposed to write down that particular statement as a first statement. Okay. After that, the internal architecture of the 8086 microprocessor is as follows. Now draw the internal block, that is this architecture diagram. After that, go for explaining. These are the major points which you are supposed to show in the execution unit. So go for explaining the execution unit by including all these points. Okay, now, along with the flag register also, you are supposed to explain the flag register. I'll prepare separate video on that particular flag register. After that, you are supposed to explain the bus interfacing unit. After that, you are supposed to explain the memory concept. So that memory concept is very small one in the exam. In the textbook, you just explain that one only. No need to draw all these blocks. Okay, and at the end of the architecture, you are supposed to say indicate what is the physical address and how it is going to be calculated by the 8086 microprocessor using the base and the offset addresses. Base and the offset addresses. So this is all about your architecture of 8086 microprocessor. Architecture of 8086 microprocessor. Okay, now. So now, yeah, in the last video, I generated means in for a code segment. In the last video, I raised one question on why we are having the open brace and why we are having the closed brace. I got response from one of the student. I think I I'm sorry, I'm very weak in remembering the names, so I don't know your roll numbers. If you are if I do know the roll numbers, then I would have said your roll number. I don't know your roll number. So what you do is you have given the better explanation. You tried your best. Extend to that means you are saying that it is going to be the means in order to live the variables which are there in our program in order to use those values throughout the program, the open and close braces are used. Okay, now very good. That is the acceptable answer, but in if you are going for in detail explanation, then we are supposed to concentrate on the stack operations. We are supposed to concentrate on the stack operation. So as of means till now we have seen the segments explanation, but for the stack segment we are having the two offset address, means two registers are there to hold the offset address, and when the microprocessor is using the base pointer as a offset base pointer register as to hold the offset address, and when the that is stack pointer register is going to be used by the microprocessor to hold the offset address of the stack segment. Okay, for that if you want to realize that concept exactly, what you are supposed to do means we are supposed to realize the stack segment operation, means stack access, how exactly the stack memory is going to be accessed, how exactly the stack memory is going to be accessed by the 8086 microprocessor, how exactly the stack memory is going to be accessed by the 8086 microprocessor. Okay, now so here I'll explain that. I'll make a separate video on that particular stack, because as the video is lengthy one, then the size of the video is going to be the more than 1 GB, and uploading that 1 GB data onto the YouTube is very difficult for me. So that's why I'm skipping means I'm trying to prepare the small period of classes, so 30 minutes or 35 minutes around. So here I'll give one brief explanation. Stack, what exactly the stack, what exactly the stack, and when the stack is going to be used. So here as of your knowledge, you are saying that to sustain the variables throughout the program we are having the open brace and close brace. I'll come to that point later. So what is the use of the means, what is happening when you are declaring the variables in your C language? Let me take one slide. Let me take one slide. This is my simple C program. I'm sorry if I'm having any mistakes. I didn't include my header files. I didn't include my header files. Okay, no, I didn't include my header files. So I just written my simple program. Forget about all these programs. We will cover in the next video. So just remember that you are declaring some variables, right? In any program, you are declaring some variables. I forgot to semicolon. Actually, we should terminate with the semicolon, right? Nowadays, I'm working with what is that Python, so that's why in the Python semicolon is not required. So I forgot to put the semicolon. I'm sorry for that. In the next video, I'm going to correct that one. No problem at all. Otherwise, I'll do right now only. Okay, no problem. I'm going with the semicolon. Language to language, the rules and regulations are varying. Okay, so it is going to be the semicolon, it is going to be the semicolon, same thing, semicolon. I'm sorry. Okay, semicolon, right? So when you are declaring the variables now, when you are declaring the variables, without knowing to you, you are requesting the microprocessor to allocate some area in the stack memory. Means declaring the char variable in the main function, not only in the main function, in any function. In case of the C language, the variable should be declared in the first statement, means soon after the body starts you are supposed to declare the variables. In case of the C++, it is not like that actually. So when you are declaring, I'm going to wind up within 1 minute, okay, because it is time exceeding. So when you are declaring the variable, without knowing to you, you are requesting the microprocessor, to allocate some space, some area within the stack to hold the these variables, to hold the these variables. Okay, here also you are requesting the microprocessor to assign some memory for the variables x and y in stack area. Here also, okay, means whatever the variable declaration you are doing in the C language, that variables are going to be stored on the stack. What exactly the stack? Stack is nothing but I'm just defining the stack, and how we are going to access the stack, all those things we will see in the next class, in the next video. So stack is nothing but it is a part of the RAM, or I can say that it is a special purpose memory. A part of the RAM is used as a stack memory, which is going to be uh, temporary, which is going to be used to hold the values temporarily during the execution of the program. Stack is a part of the RAM memory is used as a stack, which is used for holding the addresses as well as the data temporarily during the execution of the program. Addresses and the data temporarily during the execution of the program. So that is what the stack. Okay. So I just defined the stack, and how exactly the stack is going to be accessed, all those things we'll see in the next video. So in order to access the stack area, we are supposed to use the push and pop instructions. All those things we'll see in the next class. Okay. So this is all about our stack area. This is all about our architecture of the 8086 microprocessor. Again, I'm saying that I'll come to this point, no problem at all. Why we are using the open brace and close brace? Because I would like to shorten my video. So again, I'm saying that declaring the variable is nothing but asking the microprocessor. Declaring the variables in C language is nothing but asking the microprocessor to assign some memory, to allocate some memory for your variables in the stack area, for your variables in the stack segment. Otherwise, okay. So that's all for today's class. We'll continue the next class with a stack explanation. Okay. Okay. If you are having any doubts, so you can write in the WhatsApp group, or you can comment in the comment section in YouTube. Okay. Thank you.